Hey guys, what's up? Thanks so much for stopping by. In today's video, I thought we would do a roundup of some new drugstore makeup as well as like mini reviews, tutorials. One of the products that I think I'm the most excited about is the ELF Camo CC Cream. I've been putting this to the test for the last week or so, and I thought today was the day to sit down and share my thoughts. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the CC Cream just because I feel like this is probably the most interesting product out of everything that I have here. I know tons of channels have already put up their reviews, but just in case if you have a skin type similar to mine, I thought maybe I could just share a tidbit of info. I'm more on the normal to dry side. I definitely do have dry areas. My cheeks tend to get dry and my chin. I would say my T-zone is pretty normal. I can get a little bit oily here and there. If you have yet to hear about the ELF Camo CC Cream and you're wondering like, well, why is this so exciting? Mine is just being a new foundation or CC cream launch at the drugstore. A lot of people are saying that this is the dupe of the ever so popular IT Cosmetics CC Cream, which I too have been a fan of for many, many years, but I tend to just reach for the illumination. If you've never tried the IT Cosmetics CC Cream before, there is the original CC Cream, the CC Plus Illumination, and then the CC Matte, which is like in a turquoise tube. Absolutely hate that one. The original formula is good, but like I said, for me, I'm someone who prefers more of a dewy, hydrated feel, so I definitely tend to lean towards the illumination one. The shade that I went with in the ELF is Light 210 Neutral. Now, there's pros and cons to both formulas. If you are looking for your shade, you'll probably have better luck with the ELF line because there are 20 shades, is it 20 or 24? I think 20 versus the 12 that is in the IT Cosmetics line. Both CC creams claim to have skincare benefits as well as coverage. I know the IT Cosmetics, I believe it's niacinamide, collagen, and I can't think. I've used that one forever. Why I can't list them all yet, not quite sure, a fail on me. But the IT Cosmetics provides 50 SPF, whereas the ELF one provides 30. Getting down to formula, the main difference that I noticed, hold on, coffee break, it's getting cold. Also, I'm still so obsessed with this Yeti cup. If you guys follow me over on IG stories, I'm always complaining about how coffee gets cold too quickly. This truly does keep your coffee warm forever, especially if you have the lid on. But since I go in with froth milk, I feel like it like stays hot. I probably should go with water, but I really need some coffee. Hold please. The very first difference that I noticed with formulation is that I find the ELF one to be drier than the original formula. Not a ton drier, but I noticed with the IT Cosmetics CC Cream, I could go in with any primer and it glides on just right. With the ELF one, the first 2 days that I wore it, I absolutely hated it. I felt like it was too dry on my skin. However, if you are more on the normal to normal oily side, you probably won't have any issues. But if you do have any dry patches like myself, this definitely clings to those areas. And I noticed that oxidize only on that little dry patch, not all over my face. So exfoliating definitely is key and really going in and prepping the skin. For instance, today I went in with my, which primer was it? Too Faced Hangover Primer, but under that I also went in with something really thick and hydrating. This is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. Obviously it doesn't have to be these exact products. Oh, I've noticed that I really prefer this formula. Where did I put this brush? Really, Dean? Oh, here we go. With a brush versus a sponge, which is surprising because I typically apply, I would say 98% of my foundations with a sponge. I just like the way that it looks, but for this formula, I just noticed on my skin, I definitely prefer it with a brush. The brush that I used today is the ColourPop F15. I think those are the main thoughts that I wanted to share with you. Long wear time, great coverage. Oh, one other thing with coverage. This definitely has medium to full coverage. It's a buildable coverage though, whereas with the IT Cosmetics CC Cream, at least the original formula, I feel like I get a fuller coverage right out the gates versus the ELF one. I do have to go in with a second layer if I'm wanting that same sort of coverage. But for the price, especially if you have normal to oily skin, I truly do think you would love this. If you guys have any other questions about that formula, definitely let me know. I'm pretty good about always responding to comments. Okay, now moving on to eyeshadows. I have some Quints from Almay as well as some quads from a Revlon. Now the prices of these kind of vary depending where you purchase them. If you're ever looking for new drugstore makeup, your best bets are Amazon, Target, or Walmart. If you go to Walgreens or CVS, they tend to launch them quicker than Target and Walmart, but the price is always, I would say like $3 to $4 more. So let's go ahead and start off with these Almay Quints. I believe the lowest price that I saw for these were $7.97. I don't know about you, but I would say that the majority of us could say that Almay is definitely, I hate to say underdog brand, but it's just not the most appealing brand for many of us when it comes to drugstore makeup. To be honest, my all-time favorite Almay product are their little eye makeup remover wipes. I've talked about these forever. They're just small little circle discs. They're perfect to fold into quarters and then just wipe right underneath your eye whenever you're wanting to create like a very sharp wing. They do a great job at removing just little makeup mistakes. I don't really use them to remove my makeup at night because I'm someone that goes in with a cleansing balm, but while applying my makeup, this is easily my favorite product from Almay. I've just never really had that much luck with Almay products, and whenever I go to the drugstore, it's not something that I really look at. Even whenever they have new launches, I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, okay. But I will say that the shades in these did look really pretty. If you follow me over on IG stories, you saw Howard helped me unbox these. So these come in 4 different variations. These are the Intense Eye Color Shadow Palette. So there's one made to intensify the look of green eyes, or I guess enhance the look of green eyes, blue eyes, brown eyes, and then hazel eyes. Now, I'm pretty sure that these have been around forever now. It's just that they've kind of repackaged these because I know I've seen this whole intense eye color line before. In fact, I want to say before they came kind of like in an eye shape that had 3 little layers stacked in like a black plastic container, I'm pretty sure. These definitely are more eye-catching, and I thought the colors just looked really nice in here. The shades in here, or I guess textures in here, definitely vary. You have the base color, which tends to be more of like a soft satin. In fact, some of these had an overspray at the beginning. They don't apply fully matte. There definitely is a very slight pearlescent satin sheen to them. It is the brow bone shade that I have on today, but with a light paddle brush, it kind of diffused some of the like pearly glow away. Those definitely feel very silky and creamy in comparison to some of the metallic shades in here. Whenever it comes to like the best texture wise out of the 4 of them, I would definitely say it's the one for hazel eyes. For whatever reason, all of the metallics and I guess the one matte shade in here just swatched beautifully, and the pigmentation just seemed much more intense in these green shades than in some of the others. I will say when applied with your finger, these really do have a soft metallic glow on your eyes. It's nothing like a Makeup Geek foiled shadow or just, you know, like ColourPop shadows that are just like wham bam, thank you ma'am. These are definitely on the softer side, and whenever it just comes to Almay as a whole, I just feel like that's kind of the whole vibe of the entire line, more of like natural soft shades. Obviously the turquoise like peacock jade shades in here are in your face, but you can definitely make them softer or bolder. I had great luck with the mattes. I thought they were very nice and buildable, soft and pigmented. If you're just interested in trying out a smaller palette from the drugstore, why not? I mentioned recently in my last video that I've really been into mini palettes lately. I don't know, I just really appreciate the layout of them and not being, whoa, luckily that didn't break, overwhelmed with a ton of choices. Okay, moving on, we have these Revlon So Fierce Quads. Now, back in November or December, I filmed a video talking about just like purchase or pass makeup products. I was kind of meh about these. To be honest, I'm still just whatever about them. It's not a product I would have purchased, as I mentioned in that video. They were sent to me, so I was like, you know what, let's go ahead and give these a chance. I will say they feel much softer than what I was expecting, but they're still kind of the overall formula that I thought they would be. Do you guys remember the very first like original NYX singles before they rebranded and came out with the circle singles? But it was like little square singles that were divided into quadrants. But back in the day, besides MAC, there weren't that many single options. So I was super into those NYX ones. The formula of these remind me a lot of the formula of those NYX metallics. They're not bad, but they're not the best. It's just more of like a softer type of shade that's definitely, it performs better with a finger versus a brush. While they all look very satin or metallic, some of the deeper shades in these palettes, for instance, in this fully loaded one, this shade here, if you go in and you apply this with a fluffy brush onto your crease, as long as you're someone who doesn't feel the need to have like a strictly matte shade, this one definitely has a little bit of a sheen to it. It works fine. Like you could blend this through your crease and be good to go. There's definitely people out there who prefer softer eyeshadow looks that are buildable while still being blendable and not just immediate like gratification on your eyeballs with pigmentation. Do you know what I mean? If you can find them on the lower end for like $6.97 to $7.97 and you're looking to add some drugstore metallic pearlescent soft sheen shadows to your collection, why not? But I definitely would not pay $10.97 at CVS or Walgreens for these. If you do that, I think you would have some regrets. Sticking to Revlon, these I was impressed with. I wish I would have used these on my eyes today. I'm missing one. Where'd you go? These are from the same So Fierce line. They are called Chrome Inks. So they're just liquid liners. I have been using these as like liquid shadows. If you look at the applicator, it is a larger applicator. If you're someone who's very talented with wing liners, that someone is definitely not me. This would be fine for you. I'm someone who likes a more precise tip because as you can see, I don't have that much real estate going on my eyelids, so I can't be sacrificing a ton of lid space for liquid eyeliner. So I prefer something thinner. I can get it to work, but I just really have to take my time. I noticed with the gold shade, for whatever reason, this one made my eyes water immediately, and whenever it got wet, it just did this weird like ink bleeding effect. It wasn't a good look. But with the purple and the black, I didn't have any issues. I really want to, oh, here we go. If you're someone who loves smoky eyes, this is so beautiful all over the lid. So it's called Chrome Ink because as you can see, it has this really pretty kind of metallic chrome effect. It really does just look like the way if you ever took like a Bic mechanical pencil in school and like did a harsh dark line on your paper, how it just created that like really cool sheen. That's the effect that you get on your eyelid. I applied this all over my lid and then just blended out Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Tuxedo, which is a really pretty black, and then added a tiny bit of just like a darker silver gunmetal glitter on top. So pretty. Every now and then it's just fun to have a smoky eye. Sticking to Revlon, they also launched these Colorstay Micro Hyper Precision Gel Eyeliners. I have been loving these. Just wind up a tiny bit and warm it up on the back of your hand first. Once it gets that warmth, it just glides right on. And I also really like the smudger on these. It's a stiffer smudger, but I think that works great, especially whenever you're wanting to go in and just kind of like fuse the look of your falsies onto your lash line. This does great. It's not so floppy and squishy where it's just like, you know, limp noodles like slopping all over the place. Nobody likes that. You want a stiffer tip, and this has that tip. So I have it in black, brown, and nude. The nude is what I have on my waterline right now. And these actually, I don't know if they're marketed as waterproof. I don't think they are. I've been using these on my waterline and my tight line, and I haven't had any issues of it like transferring from the bottom to the top. So definitely liking these. Good job, Revlon. I kind of feel like Revlon is slowly becoming a brand like Almay though. I feel bad saying that, but don't y'all kind of agree? I used to love the Revlon Photo Ready line, like the dewy Photo Ready in the pump tube. Since then, Revlon, like, y'all, you gotta spice it up a little bit. Come on, Revlon, I'm rooting for you. Okay, I'm just gonna briefly talk about this because I did an entire try-on demo review on IG Stories. I don't think I saved it to a highlight though, but if you like to hear mini product reviews, definitely give me a follow over on there. I'm always trying to share like random things with you guys, from like my favorite gel pens, Christmas decor, recipes, makeup, all the things. But I recently picked up the Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High. I do have mine in waterproof. Packaging, 10 out of 10 for me. Some might say it's a little bit bulky, but I really like it. I like the color of it. I like the way that the letters are lifted from the tube. I used to be Maybelline and mascaras, or Maybelline's mascara line, #1 fan. I loved the Rocket Mascara. I loved Maybelline Falsies. I loved Colossal. So many different mascaras from Maybelline, but ever since I jumped on the whole Essence Lash Princess waterproof train, I haven't been able to get off, and I've kind of neglected Maybelline, which makes me sad because I definitely need to go back and try other products. So here's the thing, while I do like this mascara, it gives length, it holds the curl, and I'd mentioned on IG Stories that this is a mascara that's great right from the get-go. There are some mascaras where I know some people are gonna be like, I can't believe you're doing that, that dries the mascara out. But if you have very straight and stubborn lashes like myself, I like to get some air into the formula and just to kind of like slightly dry it up and thicken it up a bit, because if a formula's too wet, those stubborn straight lashes, even after they're curled, just instantly like, wah, wah. This is just perfect right from the get-go. But I don't get as much volume out of it. Whereas with the Essence Lash Princess, I get both volume and length. I have been going in with the Essence Lash Princess and then this on top, game changer. So if you have stick, straight, stubborn, kind of pitiful short lashes, give that combo a go and let me know. But do not forget, you have to get waterproof. If you don't get waterproof, don't blame me, because you need waterproof to hold the curl. If you are curious, on my lips, I'm wearing the Maybelline Superstay Matte. Sorry, I forgot to silence my phone. Superstay Matte Ink in Amazonian, one of my go-tos. My blush is the L'Oreal Paradise Enchanted Blush in Bashful. Oh, I forgot. This is the Essence My Skin Perfector Loose Fixing Powder Instant Blur Effect. Natural matte finish. This comes in several different shades. I want to say there may have been like 8 of them or so in there. It's the one that I use, light. Now, I'm not crazy about this for all over the face. I find that it gets just very powdery looking and very, very fast. I'm someone who likes more of a hydrating type of powder. I know that sounds weird, like hydrating in powder, but if you've never tried the JCat Beauty Aquassurance, you're missing out. And that's why you're like, what are you talking about? If you tried that formula, you would know what I mean. This on the under eyes, it's great. I can't say that I like it as much as like my Lancome one that I talked about in my 2020 favorites, or the Huda Beauty one, but for a drugstore option, this is great if you're similar to my skin tone because it has a little bit more of this peachy pinky tone to it, so it really does help to brighten up on the under eyes, and it seems to do a really good job of holding my concealer in place. This is a product or a type of product that I do get excited to try just because I tend to stick to the same 2 under eye powders constantly, so whenever a new one does come out, it does intrigue me. So, I mean, I will definitely continue to use this. There are some recent drugstore finds along with their reviews and demos. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if there's any drugstore launches you would like me to sit down and review for you. As always, thank you so much for hanging out today. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. That way you don't miss out on my other videos coming out this week. If you have any specific requests, definitely feel free to share them below, down below, or over on IG. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.